Mr. Robert Pernell.
Madam Chair, members of the board, and those at the dais, my name is Robert Pernell, and I'm before you with some information about what we're doing. We have a committee that is formed. It's called the Natchez U.S. Colored Troops Monument Committee. And our objective is to build a monument that that will recognize those slaves that joined the U.S. Army and so 3,000 African American Army and Navy that helped fight the Civil War. So what we're here today asking the board is to help us advertise that. This is not anything that the committee is going to do on its own. We need suggestions from our citizens, our community. So this will be, and what we're having is a community-wide meeting, so that we can. So it's county and city, and what we want to do is get information from the community as to where the monument would be, what it would look like. You know, how do we trace our ancestors? So one of the things that we wanted to do was come to the board and just brief the board and answer any questions. So before I get started, I want to introduce a couple of people that are with me. First of all, the Executive Director of Visit Natchez, Mr. Devin Heat, who is a member who chairs a subcommittee. Mr. Heat chairs the
Site selection.
Yes. So Mr. Heat chairs the site subcommittee. So that's where the monument will be built, and then of course Mr. Roscoe Barnes chairs the PR and marketing committee. We have 5 committees. I'll be very brief because Mr. Roscoe is going to kind of outline how you guys can help us get the word out. We have a history and research subcommittee that's chaired by Ms. Deborah Fontaine. She has 7 descendants that fought in the Civil War. So she's been doing this research. She knows how to do it. We also have a marketing and PR that I talked about with Mr. Roscoe Barnes. And then we have a finance and subcommittee, and that's chaired by the mayor. So at some point, we're gonna get to how much all this costs. But right now, we are focused on just getting the best monument in the best place to represent Natchez and Adams County. We also have a monument design committee that's chaired by Lance Harris. Lance is chairing that committee. And we have a site subcommittee that I talked about with Mr. Devin Heath. The reason we're here today is, and I'll have Mr. Roscoe talk about this, is to help get the word out. Now we've been in the paper. He's done a lot of things. It's on the website. But we want to hear from the community. This is not our project as a committee. It is the community's project. So when we start, we're gonna have this meeting on November 10th at the community center. But we don't want anyone to say, well, I didn't know about it, I didn't have any input, and etc. That's the way it goes. So what we're doing is informing the community as best we can about the meeting, and they'll have an opportunity to voice their concerns, make suggestions on where it's gonna go, what it's gonna look like, what type of technology is gonna be there. And so, without ado, I'm gonna bring up Mr. Roscoe Barnes to tell you a little bit about what he's doing in terms of getting the word out.
Good morning.
Morning.
I believe you all have received a copy of the handout this morning, and it gives you some general information about what we are doing. We're here to request your support, and you can support us in a number of ways. First of all, we would like your support. We would like for all of you to attend the meeting in some way. The meeting is set for 6 o'clock Wednesday, November the 10th, the day before Veterans Day, and it will be at the Natchez Convention Center. It is possible for all of you to attend because not only can you attend in person, but now we have a setup that will allow you to attend virtually. So you can still watch and observe what's taking place. So we value your support, but we also want your input. If you, as leaders in this community, have ideas about this monument, then we want to hear those ideas. We want to get your thoughts about what we can do and how we can move forward. We also need your support in getting the word out. If you're able to assist us by means of advertising in the local news media or radio, of course, we welcome that. But if that's not possible, we also welcome your help in just simply sharing the information with your constituents. You can do that by email. You can do that through the social media platform. I'm happy to say that we now have an official page on Facebook. You can follow us where you can see updates about what's taking place with the monument. You can simply go to Facebook and look up Natchez U.S. Colored Troops USCT Monument Committee. And so you can help us in that way as well. In the handout, I outlined some of the things that we have done so far. I believe you all have been receiving emails from me, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't mean to bombard you with but that's one of the easy ways to because we want our elected officials. Emails have gone out to you, to business leaders, to churches, to school officials. We want as many people as possible to know about this upcoming meeting. And as Chairman Pernell has said, this is not the committee's project. This is a community project. And so we want the community's input, but we really want the input from our elected officials. So we're using email, we're using the local newspapers, we're using social media, not just Facebook. We're using Instagram, we're using LinkedIn, we're using Twitter and Tumblr. We're trying to use all the available tools out there to get the words out. And you also have a copy of the flyer, which was designed and approved last week. And so if you can share that, if you can post it somewhere, we have copies available by email. You can even share that by email. And so again, we look to you for help, and we look to you for your wisdom, for your knowledge, for your support in any way that you can provide it. Any questions or comments?
Do anyone have any questions?
My only question is, I know you say you're gonna go through the churches, and I think that's a good way to do it, because we have a lot of senior citizens out there that don't do Facebook and don't do social media, period, and not up to speed on getting information through this new technology that we're dealing with. How would we go by getting information to those people that probably have a wealth of knowledge about exactly what you're talking about? Because I don't have no knowledge about this. I know I heard about it, but those older individuals probably could tell you a little something about this, because I know I can't.
Well, that's a good question. And again, that underscores our reason for being here today. We need help. And we're asking everybody that we contact to contact somebody else. The church is an effective way because announcements are made in church every week. either, the flyers can be given to the churches, or announcements can be placed in the church bulletins, or the news can be shared by someone in the congregation. So that would be one way. We do have members of the Board of Aldermen who have said they will also hit the streets, that they will literally place the poster in certain locations. And that's why, again, we are asking the community and everybody to help us, either by word of mouth. But you make a very good point. Everybody's not using email. Everybody's not on Facebook. That's true. But those who are using email, those who are using social media, they know people who are not on those platforms. And so we're asking you to reach out to your contacts. There is a thing in a ministry called, known as the Navigators, where they say, everyone win one. Of course, they were talking about discipleship and Christianity and what have you. But that concept is relevant here. Everyone win one. Everybody knows somebody. And so even if we cannot reach 100 or 1,000, through our businesses, we can place posters on the walls, in the windows, and we can talk to people through word of mouth. But those are some of the ideas that we have. But again, we welcome your input on it as well.
I'm glad the Democrat is here, because that is one way of getting it out too, through the Democrat. Because a lot of elderlies, how they keep up with things is through the Democrat. They usually get paper, so they'll keep up with it.
Thank you very much.
So that's good. Sabrina, so you put
Yes.
that right.
As noted in the handout, we've been working with the Natchez Democrat, and we are grateful to the Natchez Democrat for all. They've run a number of stories, but we're also working with the Bluff City Post.
Right.
We've had a number of items published there. And we are working with the Concordia Sentinel across the water. They've been publicizing it. In fact, I've received calls from Vidalia, from people, and I said, where did you hear about it? Where did you see it? And they saw it in the paper in Vidalia. So we are definitely doing that. And Chairman Pernell and I also have met with one of the radio stations. And we did a program a while back, it's been a few weeks now, where we talked about it. And we're also reaching out to the military community. Because, this is about history, it's about the military. And one other thing before I close. It is estimated that of the more than 3,000 men who served with the colored troops, there was over 3,000, some were in the Navy. And we want to recognize those who were stationed at Fort McPherson, okay? Or those who were born there, who served in the Navy. We want to get their names. We already have their names, but we want their names to be on this monument. So that's important, all right? That's something that we want to highlight. But if there's anything else that anybody has that they could give us, because this is about the troops, this is about the men who serve, it's history, it's military. And so, but it is estimated, and I almost lost my point there, it is estimated that about 90% of the African Americans in Natchez and in Adams County are descendants of these colored troops, but they don't know it. And so we have also provided stories with tips on how you can determine your relationship, whether or not you are a descendant of the colored troops. Think about that. Up to 90% African Americans right here, there's a very good chance you are a descendant. We do have, including Alderwoman, is it Hall, Valencia Hall? She is related. She is a descendant of several U.S. colored troops, I'm told. And so that's the other thing that we're trying to get out, because we want to recognize those too who are descendants. So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, a lot of discoveries. Natchez has so much to offer, and we are glad to be a part of it. Any other questions or comments?
Okay, thank you. No, that'll be all.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda.
Oh, I would just add that we're going to have a link to for those who don't know. We're going to pass out a sheet at the meeting with a link that they can go on and research it themselves. Because we can't research all of that stuff, but there is a way that you can go on and find out whether or not you are a descendant of the African American troops. So all of that's going on. I appreciate the county, all of the supervisors. I live in the county, so you know I gotta bring this to you guys. I gotta bring it. But if you have any questions, you can contact me or you can contact Mr. Roscoe. And before I leave, I just wanted to, I've introduced Devin, just see if he wanted to say a few words. This is his first time. He is, he's never shy, but I guess he's shy today.
Yeah, I think for brevity, we'll concede.
All right,
so much.
thank you very
Appreciate
much.
everything. Thank you. Do we have any